Guys, I just couldn't wait. I wanted to record this video so bad that it's 2 a.m. and I was like, sleep? No, I have to see what happens to this guy whose mom and sister sneak into his bed at night. ETU Animations. Expect the unexpected. These videos are like old school My Story Animated, where the stories are crazier, they're more suggestive, and just some really weird topics get brought up. And so it's a fun experiment. So we are going from My Mom and My Sister Sneak in My Room at Night, episode 1, to, let me scroll, My Mom and Sis Are Crushing on Me. They're trying to get rid of my crush. There's not really another way to say that title to not sound bad. Are you ready, people? Are you strapped in? Let's go for it, people. RobertIDK, ETU, 3, 2, 1.
After that first night from college, I failed to get them out of my bed, let alone my room. They insisted, no, demanded to sleep near me at all times every night for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of your lives. Okay, bro, okay. Yeah, here's the thing, Mom, is once you turn 18, you have no control over something like that. And he could literally like take you to court over some crazy stuff like that. It would be weird if he's 16. It already was weird, but it's literally, you can't do that.
Right to jail.
Every time I would ask them why, it was the same reply, over and over.
Lucky charm.
You're our lucky charm, and we don't want to lose that.
Yeah, you aren't getting it, bro.
They were acting crazy. I resorted to coming up earlier and locking my door to keep them out.
Good.
But the next minute I know,
they smashed through your window. Oh my gosh.
I understand the whole lucky charm thing.
I like cereal as much as the next guy.
But now they were acting like lunatics. Like, if I stopped being around them, they would lose everything. I just completely gave up after the third night.
You surrender. Don't give up your freedoms, bro. Oh, let me put subtitles back on. Sorry. Okay. These are not the subtitles we wanted.
I just completely gave up after the third night.
I love K-pop star
My sister
night.
slept on the floor, and my mom
sweet
slept
love,
in the bed
my mom want to develop.
Didn't like it at all. But there was just no point in trying.
All right. Okay. This one doesn't have subtitles apparently. All right.
My sister slept on the floor, and my mom slept in the bed with me. I didn't like it at all, but there was just no point in trying to fight it. My mom took my door off the hinges herself to ensure I couldn't keep her out.
What on earth? Did she just glitch the Matrix to make your door go away?
My mom took my...
What was that? This is the animation of your mom taking the door off the hinges? Who thought that was the way to animate that? You just used Gary's mod and deleted the asset from the command prompt.
My mom took my door off the hinges herself to ensure I couldn't keep her out. And my sister almost broke my window because I locked it once. It's like all concepts of privacy have just gone from their minds.
Yeah.
But all I had to do was survive a week and a half. Then I'd be back at college and with my roommates.
Oh, good. Good. If there's one thing crazy people hate is other people finding out that they're crazy. So there's no way they'll go into this room with the other dudes, especially this turtleneck wearing dude.
Oh. Only I'd known what was in store for me for the rest of the days left.
Oh boy.
They never left my side. Ever. Anywhere. Even during bathroom trips, they stood outside the door, which made things...
We just need to make sure you're okay, son.
Especially since I'm lactose intolerant and love ice cream. When I went out to the store to buy something as simple as groceries, they followed me, practically attached to my sides. They never left me out of their sights for more than a second. I felt like a child again. I remember once that I was talking with a friend from college.
With an identical face to you?
So the conversation was going well until my mother decided to show up, standing at my side and hugging me into her.
If you, listen, Mom, if you don't go and live your life, there will be nothing to be lucky about. What's the point of having infinite luck if you're stuck around Asher and can't even do things where luck would be wanted? You see, it's kind of backwards thinking, Mom. Kind of not making any sense anymore.
She asked me who I was talking to, and I told her it was a friend from college. She then asked what their intentions were with me.
Oh, no.
And if they tried to steal me away,
she'd
deal with them personally. I certainly didn't expect my mom to threaten someone. My friend just excused themselves and left, which in turn created an awkward relationship between us.
Yeah.
I was so angry at my mom for even insinuating what she did. She just told me she was doing what she had to do.
She's always doing the exact same. This is another difference between this and MSA, is like, this guy's like the only person showing emotions. The mom and sister are like robots who have the exact same facial expression the entire story.
Like, these people are like literally robots.
Please make them have some emotions. The last time there was emotion from the mom, well, maybe this is why he doesn't want to do that Shakespearean performance again. Oh my God. Oh. Maybe he just doesn't want to do that, so he's making the mom just have no emotions. I want you to do that again.
She just told me she was doing what she had to do to protect her lucky charm.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, luck may have been on her side all the time, but it wasn't on my side every day. That wasn't the first time she's embarrassed me in front of a college friend. There was one time where I was leaving class and my mom was driving me home. She stood outside of my classroom calling my name as loudly as she could.
Oh, that's
like
the worst.
Idiot. Everyone turned and stared at her, wondering whose idiotic parent that was.
Oh, that's the worst. Not gonna lie, I've had some times as a kid where my mom was yelling to me. I was playing laser tag with a whole bunch of friends and they rented out the place for an hour, but I could only play for like 15 minutes, then I had to go to a baseball game. But I was just like, I'm just gonna go as long as I can. I didn't go out, and so my mom came in and was yelling, "Robert!" all throughout the laser tag game. It was so embarrassing. I hated it. To be fair, I did have to go to my baseball game, but man, that was I hated that so much.
Everyone turned and stared at her, wondering whose idiotic parent that was. I didn't talk the whole ride home, and she never got the reason why. There was one more time that I can think of. My high school graduation. God, it's even horrible to think about.
Man, Asher's got some terrifying fingers. That is the scariest hand. That dude is missing some ligaments right now. Like, this part of the hand is fine, but they decided to do a horrifying crevice, turning his hand into this hook claw. Literally, all you needed to do was just draw a line here. What is this, bro?
God, it's even horrible to think about. I was on stage getting my diploma. It's silent.
Yeah,
no one's speaking,
that's our lucky
just
charm.
enjoying the moment. As soon as I received my diploma, my mom and sister, who were at the back of the audience, stand up. I could barely see them, but I heard them clearly when they decided to yell, "That's our lucky charm!"
That's our lucky charm! That's what I said! That's what I said! That's our lucky charm! Oh, they're always after me, Lucky Charms. That was why she didn't want the other dude to be friends with him. Because they're always after me, Lucky Charms. Now I understand. Mom, you're actually normal. Sorry I ever doubted you.
That's our lucky charm! Into the silent
That's
gymnasium,
our lucky charm!
all of the graduates looked at me, and the teachers were probably wondering how I could stand having a family like that. I ask myself that same question sometimes. When the ceremony was over and everyone was out in the parking lot congratulating each other, my mom and sister were the loudest and proudest people there. My mom bought me a giant bouquet of roses, and my sister bought me a giant stuffed bear.
And they lived forever because you're lucky.
I didn't need either of those things, and both of them needed to save money. But I accepted them anyways. I'll never forget the faces of all my fellow graduates as I walked to my car with a giant bouquet and stuffed bear. Some of my friends still tease me about that to this day. There was one time where I thought that finally, my luck was turning around.
Finally!
Kira was a fellow classmate of mine.
She looks older than your mom, bro. The animators need to learn how to differentiate faces based on age. Because the mom and the sister have the exact same face. And this character looks older than your mom, boss. I ain't gonna... And hey, I ain't shaming ya. I'm just saying. I guarantee that is not what the animator intended. Guys, are we digging this so far? If you're digging this so far, please let me know by liking the video. I want to know what you guys think. This series is very crazy, and I don't know if we continue it. Should we continue it? Let me know.
Kira was a fellow classmate of mine and an honor roll student. She was known around the entire campus for her intellect and natural teaching ability.
Whoa.
Not to mention, she was very pretty. Everyone wanted to be like her, or to be friends with her. I had mulled over the idea, but came to a conclusion that I'd want to be casual friends.
Cool.
We both have the same majors, so I see her more often than some. Well, one day during winter break, my doorbell rang.
Oh no.
I didn't expect anyone to come visit me, since we'd normally planned beforehand. You could probably imagine my shock when Kira stood outside my door. She was there to return a binder that I must have left behind.
Don't worry, guys. The mom and sister will jump through the window and tackle her and then lift her up and throw her into the dumpster outside. Don't worry, guys. They will find a way to completely mess this up.
She was there to return a binder that I must have left behind. And since she was doing extra college courses, she was able to find it and return it to me. After that, she had asked me if I wanted to hang out with her the day after.
Whoa.
And I obviously said yes. She gave me her phone number and left a little after that. As soon as I walked back into the living room, my sister and mom were looking at me with narrowed eyes. I asked them what was up with them, and they asked who was at the door. I told them Kira, a friend from school, came by to drop off the binder I left behind. They continued to stare at me. And
other females besides your mother and sister? Unheard of, Asher.
They continued to stare at me, and the whole atmosphere turned awkward suddenly. My mom then asked, what else did she want? It was weird. Normally, she wasn't so pushy about things like that. I told her that she also asked me to hang out with her the day after, and the two of them flipped. My mom started telling me that I couldn't go because I had to spend time with her after being away for so long. My sister's thing was that she was going to ask me to take her to the mall to go shopping.
What? Why? So that magically sales are happening? When does luck come into play at the mall? Is that what she's hoping for? Like, if she takes him to the mall, his lucky charmness will just make the stores you go into, like, they'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna give you something for free for no reason. I would have to say, if I had to make an estimation, there's about a 0% chance of that happening.
Something about bonding with me as a sibling.
Yeah, okay.
I told the both of them that they could hold off their plans for a few hours. I was planning to meet up with Kira, and they weren't going to stop me. Good. My mom then asked, well, what are we going to do when you're gone?
Just be unlucky for a second.
I asked her what she normally did while I was at college, and her reply was, cry, usually. Fear we're going to lose you. My sister
Wait for you to come back. That's a SpongeBob moment right there. That's a SpongeBob moment.
I don't know. What do you normally do when I'm gone?
Wait for you to get back. My sister just said she busied herself with jobs. Skip past to the days after.
She busied herself with jobs. My sister just... Has anyone ever said that? Is that a sentence Like I said, this script sounds like it was written by an AI.
My sister just said that she busied herself with jobs.
That's never been said with an American accent. My sister said that she busied herself with jobs. Like, maybe I could see that, but this is not for real, boss. This is not for real.
Skip past to the days after. I'm out with Kira at this cafe. We're both sitting outside since the inside was too loud to be heard over. It's like 30 degrees out, sunny, and there's not a lot of cars, so not much traffic noise. To me, it was a perfect day to do something like that with her.
But of course,
we mainly just talked about what we wanted for our future. Our plans, our goals, aspirations, everything was just going amazing. Then, for a moment, Kira leaned slightly to the side. Sitting at the table behind her in terrible disguises for my mother and
terrible
Mira.
Disguise? There's no disguise. You couldn't draw terrible disguises, bro. Put them in a monkey costume or something, because they're acting like a couple of monkeys. That would have been good.
Kira obviously knew something attracted my attention, because she looked at where I was. I told her it was nothing, but I don't think she fully believed me.
You'd never know. You would never know, because they draw the exact same facial expression at all times, unless it's the main character. The 3 female main characters only have this expression. It's crazy. How much more work would it have been to just draw a couple other expressions, bro? It's a very important part of telling a story.
I told her it was nothing, but I don't think she fully believed me. After that, I couldn't focus on her.
This guy has so many expressions.
What I could imagine was what my mother and sister were doing, stalking me. In public, no less. Sure, Kira was none the wiser, but I wasn't. And I knew what they were trying to do.
I wasn't none though. Kira was none the wiser, but I was wise.
But I wasn't. And I knew what they were trying to do. Or I thought I did, at least.
Uh-oh.
It got to a point where she asked me point blank if I was okay. I just told her I thought I saw someone I knew. I felt bad for lying, but what was I supposed to say?
Yeah, because if she finds out how crazy her family is, that could be a deal breaker for her. That could be a little too much drama. A lot of people will not get into a relationship because the person's family is just nuts, and they don't want to have to deal with that for the rest of their life. I have been in relationships with some people with some parents who are just atrocious, and yeah, it's not fun. It didn't stop me from caring about the person I wanted to care about, but like yeah, if I were Asher, I would want to wait a little while before giving up this information.
Didn't want to freak her out. Back home, I was furious. My mom and Mira returned home a few minutes after me, acting as if nothing was wrong. When they saw me, giant smiles formed on their faces. My mom asked me how my hangout with Kira went and wanted all of the details. I told her to cut the act, that I saw both of them sitting at the table next to us. The both of them just looked at each other before giving in.
That's impossible.
I was just surprised they fessed up so quickly. I asked my mom why they would ever do that. That they didn't trust me enough?
We're just afraid that someone's after our Lucky Charms, Asher. They're always after my Lucky Charms. Sometimes the greatest charm you can get, letting go of the Lucky Charm. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let go of the Lucky Charms.
My mom said, Honey, it has absolutely nothing to do with our trust in you. But what if she tried to steal you away? Take you to where we couldn't follow? Couldn't be with or near you? We can't let that happen. You're our lucky charm for a reason.
Lucky charm.
And so it goes back to that.
I'm your son. Like, isn't that like 20 times more important than the lucky charm thing? You'd think that would be the priority, right? I can't leave you and have you and never see you again. You're my son. That's what she should be saying. Lucky charm. This person is out of their mind.
And so it goes back to that. And here, I thought my luck was finally at my side. Turns out, it came with a cost. I told both of them that if they ever did again, I would permanently move out of the house. Mira replied with, That's such a rash thing to do. You know how much you mean to the both of us? Why would you want to give that up? I was too tired and angry to explain my reasons. Instead, I just told them I was going to bed. Later that night, Kira called.
Going to bed. Wait, where are they? Where? Did that just stop happening? Did that just stop? Wait a minute. The whole point of the story was that they were sleeping in your bed with you every night. All of a sudden, they just aren't doing that anymore? Do we have a plot hole, ladies and jellyfish? Do we have a plot hole?
Instead, I just told them I was going to bed. Later that night, Kira called. She wanted to know if I was all right, since I was acting so weirdly at the end of our hangout. I told her I was fine, and that it was a long story. And a weird one. She just told me it was all right, and that I didn't need to tell her if I didn't want to. I thought about it for a moment. No one knows of the reason why my mom and Mira are obsessed with me. I was never able to confide in anyone. That was my opportunity to finally let out some steam.
Let it out, Asher. You deserve it.
I told her almost everything about my lucky charm. I also told her that both my sister and mom were following us that day, because they were afraid she'd steal me away from them. I was expecting her to flip, to call us creepy and never talk to me again. Instead, she sympathized with me.
Wow, that's so cool that your mom and sister love you so much. I like you more than I did before, Asher. I am so happy you told me that. Said no one ever.
Instead, she sympathized with me. Told me she knows it's hard being with those kinds of people. For once, I actually felt like I was appreciated.
Whoa.
Not just as a lucky charm or superstition, but as a person. However, I failed to notice my mom and Mira hanging outside my room.
Uh-oh.
I also failed to realize that they heard everything.
Oh, no.
And that they'd come up with a plan to ruin Kira and I's relationship. The next morning, they were gone from the house. Just up and left. Disappeared.
Oh, no.
I didn't know where they went, and they normally told me where they were going. Or they
I also noticed the axe was missing from the garage, and we had a surprisingly small number of garbage bags. Oh boy, someone's gonna end up in the bin.
I didn't know where they went, and they normally told me where they were going. Or they dragged me to it. Around the afternoon, Kira texted me. She asked me why I've been parked outside her house for 3 hours. I told her I was still in my house, but my mom and Mira were out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, then everything clicked. I told Kira what I realized and instructed her not to open the door or go outside. Without a moment to lose, I grabbed the keys to our second car and drove to her house. Mom and Mira were not going to hear the end of that.
I noticed the Draco from the counter was missing. Don't pull out the Draco.
Don't pull out the Draco.
Don't pull out no gun now. All right.
Oh boy, guys. There's a part 3. Do we do it, guys? Only if you really want me to do it. We will go to part 3 and finish this fight.
Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
If you want that, please leave a comment below. If you haven't seen part 1 for whatever reason, here it is. Make sure you've checked it out. If you aren't subscribed to ETU, here is their channel. They did all the hard work. I was just the silly boy saying the silly things. Or here's the playlist of all the animation reactions. We posted another animation reaction just yesterday or the day before. If you didn't see that one, make sure you've checked it out. Thank you for watching, people. I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.